It is time to wake up now.
Wake up! Don't sleep in alarm for me.
Rise and shine. 6 a.m. and your hand can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that it's too early, too dark, and too cold to get out of bed. But you didn't ask their opinion. The voice you've chosen to listen to is one of defiance. A voice that says there was a reason you set that alarm in the first place. So sit up, put your feet on the floor, and don't look back, because we've got work to do. Welcome to the grind.
Go yourself.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
With lots of love and a hearty, how you doing this morning, neighbor? It's the John and Gordy Show, only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Back again.
All right.
Fantastic morning.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Good. John and Gordy, Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Good to have you with us on this Thursday. Good morning, John.
Yeah, it's already a Thursday, huh?
Yeah, it is, and it's pretty clear out there this morning, although there might be a few clouds here and there, but we're at 34 degrees, highs today in the low to mid-50s. It's going to be gorgeous today. Yeah.
This guy just drove down State Street, you know? And
Yeah? Why would he do that?
By going down another street.
Is he an out-of-towner?
Yeah.
Probably.
That explains it.
He's got a kayak on the top of his damn car.
Well,
Who goes kayaking in March?
I know. What is he doing over here?
Yeah.
You know, you got to look cool no matter what. Winter, summer. He's got a kayak. What a great guy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, maybe he's going to get in some early kayaking. I mean, might as well. The weather's been pretty cooperative.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, right? And alternate side parking, you know.
Did Town Allbaugh get that all? I don't know. I didn't hear a follow-up report. Maybe he'll let us know.
I got to go to his site on Facebook, maybe Twitter X. I'll check him out there, and we can sign his petition.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, we got to do
we
that.
Should be doing that. I mean, here we are.
Right.
We talked about it and everything, but we did not participate in the the democratic process, if I can say that right.
You know, we're very busy. He's busy. We got to, just remind ourselves, yes, let's sign the petition for whatever he wants to do with alternate side parking in Madison. Right. Speak up. Let your voice be heard. That's what democracy's all about. And, And if we don't, it could all be gone in like 8 months. So, let's remember what democracy is like and get out there and sign some petitions.
Well, the entire world is shuddering right now. They're freaking out over the possibility that this guy could actually get in. You know, what we're doing right now is we're actually kind of promoting Trump, but at the very same time, we're acting like he has a supermajority of voters out there just waiting to put him in office. I just don't think that's happening.
I don't think so real. Either. No, it isn't real. And, the longer it goes on and the more outrageous things he says and all these trials go on, he's losing some support along the way. But, Nikki Haley dropping out, then all of a sudden, now it's just down to Trump and Biden, in most people's minds. And it's so it's given him new energy. Yeah. The other
Democratic candidate dropped out as well.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
But,
I was listening to Todd yesterday, and he mentioned the fact that now, because the House and Mike Johnson delayed the State of the Union speech to today, now it's beginning of, the real competition, the campaign between the two. Yeah. And now he's giving him a platform on the very first day, or second day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
A national platform to give the State of the Union address tonight.
That's right. That is tonight. So we'll all be watching on the edge of our chairs, and then
on Friday we'll be dead tired because we've had to watch it and see the discussions and see what the impressions were from everybody and know what the news people were thinking as well.
And then we got to analyze the follow-up. Whoever opposed they picked somebody to just get in front of the camera and try to oppose whatever was said in the State of the Union. That's right. Yeah, that's always a wonderful speech to watch. Remember when Marco Rubio did it? He grabbed that little bottle of water.
That was ridiculous.
What a moment.
And they keep doing that, right? It wasn't just Rubio. I can't remember the other instances, but they are always making an idiot of themselves in some way, shape, or form, either sweating profusely or just, being so stiff or maybe so brief. They didn't actually not even covering anything in the State of the Union usually.
Right.
They
It's a
should do it
moment.
live.
Yeah.
Do it live.
They
Right?
they do, yeah they well I'm pretty sure they do it live, don't they? I don't think
know.
they
It seems like it's pre-done or
really.
maybe they do it live, but they write up the script and they don't ad lib anywhere in that script. Now, if it were Trump, of course, he'd be ad libbing for the 3 hours given him by the networks.
Sure. Yeah, they give him a lot of time.
They do.
Yeah.
Too much time now.
It's a ratings grab. Yeah, for him.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a fiery Biden, they're saying on CNN.
Fiery. Well, here it is, the 7th day of March, and let's check out the National Day calendar, shall we? Are you ready for this?
Okay.
All right. What day is it not? All right.
I'm not going to even look at the calendar. I have a list in front of me. I will not look at it. I will take my name. I will take my shot. I'll go out on a limb. Go ahead.
Is it National Slam the Scam Day? Or not? Is it National Flapjack Day? Is it National Hospitalist Day? National Cereal Day? National Crown Roast of Pork Day? Or National Glazed Donut Day? Which one of those days does not belong? Or National Be Heard Day? So that's a big list. Let me go over it again. Okay, because I know.
You're kind of, you always save up the fake ones for the last.
No, I don't. No, that's
yes,
not
you
true. No, I don't.
No, come on.
No, I don't.
So it's always
not
easy to
always.
figure out which one.
Is it National Slam the Scam Day? Is it National Flapjack Day? National Hospitalist Day? National Crown Roast of Pork Day? National Cereal Day?
That was your creation right there.
National
Crown Roast Day.
Well, you're wrong because that is actual.
Not a guess.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like a guess. You see, now you're not playing by the rules, because that was a guess. You guessed
Call
it.
me Trump.
Trump. National Cereal Day, National Be Heard Day, or National Glazed Donut Day.
Okay.
Sam already
National
knows the answer. What?
National Glazed Donut Day is not the correct one.
Okay, you're right.
It's always the last one.
That was a
It's
very
not-
reluctant,
So
yeah, you're
predictable.
right.
But the first time through, I didn't. That wasn't the last day
It
that I
wasn't?
read. No,
Oh.
National Be Heard Day, because it was on the bottom of the computer and I didn't see it, and then that came up. So otherwise, I would have been. Yeah.
Just an
Now you
amazing
figured it
answer.
all out. After all these months, you figured it out.
I have.
You figured out my schemes.
I know.
Okay.
It took me a long time. I'm embarrassed.
Let's see. What else happened? What happened on this date, Sam? You have some information on that, I'm sure.
Okay, let's crack open the history books here
Oh,
real
boy.
quick.
Crack open the history book.
Blow off
Not
the
a
dust.
Boy, they're
not a
dusty.
ton- yeah, they are dusty.
Ugh. Clean them
Ink
off.
is real faded. Not a lot that I could find for today.
Really?
for
Nothing?
Today in history. No, a couple
Nothing?
things. Today, in 1644, the first bicameral legislature was formed in the U.S. colonies
Ooh.
in Massachusetts.
Wow.
So 2 cameras were.
Yeah, two pictures at the same time.
No,
Bicameral.
no,
Two
no, no.
houses in the
They had 2
legislature.
camels. They brought in 2
Yeah,
camels.
There we go. The circus in the colonies, right?
Bicamerals. Yeah.
Yeah. A little more
Lots of
recently, some civil rights history.
Yes, yes.
Bloody Sunday was today in 1965 when civil rights marchers
Yeah.
marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They were
Yes.
attacked by police, clubs,
Yeah.
dogs, smoke, all that jazz.
And I think
Yeah.
all of that.
John
work that
Lewis.
they did for
John
civil
Lewis getting
rights
beat. Yeah. Yeah.
being completely
Yeah.
destroyed now by the current Supreme Court. Just wiped away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiped away.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it's awful.
That's all we got for
Okay.
today in the history.
Well,
books.
thanks for bringing
Tomorrow-
us down.
Yeah, it's my job. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you could have started with that one. but
All right. Okay. Well,
we always have a smile on our face when we say souffle.
oh, souffle. Yes. Yeah. Do we have a smile?
How you do it? So bring back that
We
smile.
got to get that.
So how do you say
Yeah,
croissant
exactly.
in
We gotta get
French
him to
with the
say
typical
souffle.
French pronunciation? Is it croissant, croissant, croissant,
We got to
croissant? Well, it's
Souffle, souffle, Souffle.
I don't know how to
Like the
program.
French
I
Okay.
don't know how to program. The word that I want to get him to pronounce. I don't know how to get him to do that.
Is it an AI that does this voice? I'd assume.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think
What,
it's an actual person who did all this work.
Why don't
He
you give
looks
us
at all the words and does this work, and he records them.
what
I could be
words do
wrong.
you want to have pronounced by
Is
that
there a way
guy?
to enter in a new word?
I'm
that he can
sure there
pronounce?
is. I'm sure there is because that's how we got that one. I can do a little research and maybe
it's
get
just
something a
Gordy
little bit
voice
later.
acting.
No, it's not.
You asked for a pronunciation of the word, and then
I did.
found the site that had that word in
I
it
did.
already. That with
Yes.
the pronunciation, but you
Yes.
didn't ask that as a like a bot, an AI bot
no,
of some sort.
Okay. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Artificial
I did.
intelligence bot.
Yeah. Well, what words do you want pronounced? Souffle?
Souffle.
Okay. Anything
Nailed it,
else?
man.
Anything-
No. How much time do you think we have?
Well, I'm not
How
going to
about
do it
your
right now.
names? You
I'll
get 'em
do
to
it.
Say your names.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually,
minutes.
that
We have
I
2
you
minutes.
could. Well, I'm not doing it in the
Can't
moment.
you do it right now? Okay.
No, I can't. Because I have to tell everybody later today we're going to be giving away some more Stephanie Miller tickets. You know, the Stephanie Miller Sexy Liberal Save the World Comedy Tour is going on, and they'll be at the Barrymore Theater on Saturday, May 11th at 8 p.m. Stephanie Miller, John Fugelsang, Hal Sparks, and Frangella. The whole gang will be there. We're giving away tickets a little bit later on this morning right here on the John and Gordy Show. Be listening. And it's going to be a little while yet before we get to those tickets.
He's
All
been a
right.
sexy liberal for a long, long time, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well,
She's
yeah.
still single?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to, again, do some research and ask her people. Maybe they'll tell us. I don't know. I have no idea about her. I have no idea about her personal life. I don't know anything about it.
Well, I do, but I'm pretty sure she probably is a partner of some sort.
Okay. Okay, I just spilled coffee all over the place.
thanks.
Okay.
Oh,
All
you
right.
too, huh?
I ran in here and I didn't have time to get my coffee into my thermos.
We've all had issues with coffee this morning. I spilt mine. Gordy spilt mine. You didn't even get any.
I didn't bring it in. I had to come into the station this morning.
Yeah.
There he
Here he
is.
comes.
There he goes.
He heard the word. Yes.
There he is.
We all need more. Yes.
The thing is, he's shouting so much he's not hearing anybody.
He's just there. He's not paying attention to what's actually going on.
He's just running around willy-nilly.
I was going to
with
go
a pot of
out on
coffee.
State Street, get on the corner, and start shouting into the air, anybody want coffee?
Yeah. All right, we're just getting started for this Thursday morning. John and Gordy, Sam Davison behind the controls. Back with more in just a moment.
Okay.
Here I am. In the
Yeah, you need
I'm
anything?
in the shadows.
Your cuts are ready, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need some lighting in there. So your camera not working at home, or just the systems?
The shadow's still there.
Oh, I think Gordy. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see.
We'll see what happens. No, that's not going to work either.
How do you pronounce souffle?
All right. 10.
Pronunciation guide for the word souffle. Let's see.
Pronounce this word as well as how to say more interesting French terms and phrases.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM.
I love that intro. Yeah, Chicago.
It works, doesn't it?
Anybody know what time it is? Well, it's 20 minutes past 6. Hey, good morning. It's 34 degrees, highs today in the mid-50s. Yeah,
Capital city, the capital city.
It's what it is.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
if
John,
you-
this just in. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word as well as how to say more interesting French cooking terms and food names as well, so make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. How do you say it? Soufflé. Soufflé. For reference, in French it is said as soufflé. Soufflé.
Soufflé.
In English, however, soufflé is
Okay.
how it is said in English.
You got it?
Soufflé.
No, I
Now
missed
you
it.
know. Did you get this? Was this any helpful? Let me know in the comments and by using the like button. Thank you kindly for your support. Here are more videos on how to pronounce more food names.
I'm just trying to understand what he was saying before souffle.
I know. You can't understand anything.
No, I just love that. Is there any way you can play that again? I don't know how you found that or how you.
You want it
came up
again?
with that. Yeah.
You want it
maybe
again?
please.
Okay.
That was
All right.
just-
Listen, because he has an announcement at the beginning of it here.
I'm
And
very,
here we go.
calm.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word as well as how to say more interesting French cooking terms and food names as well, so make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. How do you say it? Soufflé. Soufflé. For reference, in French it is said as soufflé. Soufflé.
Soufflé.
In English, however, soufflé is how it is said in English. Soufflé. And
Okay.
now you know. Did you get this? Was this any helpful? Let me know in the comments and by using the like button.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you
See,
kindly
now I
for
don't
your
think
support. Here are
I don't
more
think that's
videos
the
on
same
how to
guy
pronounce
as our
This
croissant
is
guy.
No, this is the same guy. Who
You think
would
so?
have a voice like that?
You think
Who
so?
would have an accent like that? I know that's him. That's definitely him. You know, like I say, he's got this wide span of different topics. All
Yeah.
these words he's chosen. I think he's personally recorded them all.
Yeah.
I don't think this is AI.
No, I don't
And now
think
he's
so
probably
either. I
kicking
think it's
himself knowing that now there is AI. And he
All
can
right, let's-
program his voice in, and then it could just simply synthetically
here's the
say
croissant
all the
guy.
words.
So how do you say croissant?
Oh, yeah, I think you're
in
right. Maybe it
French
is the
with
same guy.
Typical French pronunciation. Is it croissant?
Yeah, that is the same guy. Okay. All right.
I don't know how you got
Okay.
him
Well,
to say that.
another mystery cell. How did I
No,
do
it's
that?
not a mystery. I don't know how you find. I worked for like an hour trying to do this.
Maybe he just has his number, dial him up, and
Yeah,
recorded it quick.
yeah.
No.
He's
I
got,
just
Gordy has connections.
well,
Yeah.
okay. That's
There
true.
we go. See, he wants a little feel important.
I'm not going to reveal who this, how I know this guy. Yeah. But yeah, I do have a connection with him.
Well, that's fantastic.
Glad we got that solved. Okay.
We
Now
should
we
give
can
him
move
a
on.
real American word. See how he comes up with that.
All right. Well, go ahead. Come up
Think
with
of
something.
a word that we could, program. Well, forget it.
All right. We'll work on that.
It will definitely work.
We'll put that on the back burner this morning, though, because we got a lot of other important stuff to get to. All right.
We do.
Okay.
Let's get to something that it's something that sticks under my craw just a little bit, and I don't know where the craw is. But
You got a lot of stuff sticking under your craw.
That
That craw is looking a little ragged because there's a lot of stuff stuck in there. So let's try to get some of that out today.
I know. Let me just try to pull this one out.
Okay.
It's the Supreme Court, and it's their incredible activism that is kind of destroying the political system and our civil system in this country.
Yeah.
And
The
it's also
Supreme
taking
Court
down
needs
the
a better
judiciary.
publicist. They need they need good publicity. They're really, they're getting a lot of hits lately.
Right.
So
So
they need a
this is-
PR agent. Yeah.
This is another thing, where they said that basically you can be a participant in an insurrection, and that's okay. It's nothing that the Constitution covers. Sure it does. 14th
Right.
Amendment covers it very well. Section 3. No, it's not
Yeah.
that. It's not that. The Congress has to do something. Right, that's what they
Yeah.
said. The Congress has to, make a statement on this.
That's
and draw
right.
the line in the sand and say that this is an insurrection, and therefore they can levy the penalty. I guess, I don't know. They made all of this stuff up on the bench. How can they do that? And
Well, they're the Supreme Court. They can do anything they want to now, apparently.
Every attorney out there should be on this, on every show, and it should be just, blanketing all the media sources like Twitter, X, and Facebook, and YouTube. Everybody should be talking about this and talking about how corrupt this Supreme Court is. One person gave this analysis based on, the decision by the Supreme Court. They say not a single one of the thousands of ex-Confederates who were disqualified under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment were disqualified by an act of Congress. It didn't require an act of Congress back then. Why is it all of a sudden required now?
Yeah.
They were automatically disqualified, as Jefferson Davis himself recognized in his trial. So we have historical reference on this. We know that this is the way it should be run. It is self-actuating. And what they did was they created something out of whole cloth, just legislating from the bench, giving it to Congress, or giving Congress a new job, and then telling them what kind of job they have to do.
Right. Yeah.
I am pulling my hair out. I am not an attorney. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'd probably be out, at a building top someplace with a rifle.
No, don't go there.
I know. I'm just trying to calm down just a little bit here, thinking about shooting. The liberal justices who agreed there should not be a patchwork of state-based systems of disqualification don't seem to understand that if the Supreme Court had rendered a decision disqualifying Trump, that would have had a national effect, not a state-by-state effect. It would not have meant that each state gets to decide. The decision, as it stands now, has a national effect, that Trump cannot be barred from any states. And by the way, it has a national effect on every insurrectionist. Now they can all run. And then Congress will individually have to deal with each one of those people being released after they serve their sentences.
This is just unbelievable. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yes.
But again, there was a historical reference. None of the Confederates were allowed to do anything again in politics. They were disqualified, and they didn't need an act of Congress to do it. Back in the Civil War
right there,
days.
that's what happened. Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened. Right. The most obvious thing is sitting right in front of you. Historical context.
Well, I don't know why that never got brought up until now. That doesn't. I mean, you would think they'd be all over that.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well.
But you, John Peterson, once again, you've shown us the light. Thank goodness. Yeah.
Okay.
You should have been a lawyer.
I should have been, but I didn't have any kind of concentration level when I was younger. So.
Well, don't tear your hair. Don't tear all of your hair out, because you still need some
there.
of it. Okay, good,
All right.
good. So that's one good thing out of it. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
I know I shouldn't start.
It's
so
exhausting,
powerful
isn't it?
this
I
morning.
know. 6:29. We've got news. We've got weather. We've got Pam Yonke with the farm report. And when we come back, hard workers, well, they get to sweat more. That's coming up.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I don't know how to identify this guy. Souffle.
Yeah. Hey, look.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word as well as how to say more interesting French cooking terms and food names as well. So make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. How do you say it? Souffle.
How do you say
For
it?
reference in French, it is said as souffle.
His name is Julian
Souffle.
something.
In English, however, souffle is how it is.
Okay, hang on.
Here's the thing. I was at the site. I was there. I was looking at a site on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to work it. I couldn't find a way
You
to
didn't know-
ask the question. I didn't know where to enter a word. I don't know.
See, all I did was go, hey, Google,
Yeah.
into my phone. Whoops. Hey, what was that? Okay. Is it me?
You said, "Hey Google," and then it
Oh,
did the thing.
it did. These damn things are just.
Oh, no, you can't say that.
Can't
even reference it.
Okay, how to
Okay,
pronounce?
so did you make coffee or did you not make coffee?
I didn't make a pot of coffee. Terry might have.
Oh, okay.
I can look.
All right.
Now's the time to make it.
Let's see. Hard workers get more sweat.
Julian. How do you say souffle? Julian.
I wanted to get to something else. We'll get to the other thing. I'm going to go to, I'm going to blow out some of the older stories here.
Okay. His
so
name
I
is
can get them off my chest.
Julian Mikhail.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the trick. You ask the question into your, hey, Google thing, and
Okay.
it works. It works fine, but for some reason, it's searching that particular guy's pronunciation site.
Well, maybe
Right.
I've done it enough times that it's
Yes, it favors.
it's
a
defaulted
preferred
to that.
choice.
Yes.
And that's what I think is happening here.
I'm looking
Well,
at
I'll
his.
just keep
I'm looking at the. I'm looking at some of the words he's got here. Cheese souffle, chocolate souffle.
Wow.
Okay, wait,
Chocolat.
he's big.
Souffle.
He's big on the
Souffle.
charcuterie. Oh, let's try that.
Souffle. Okay.
Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can make it. Let's see. Hey Google, how do you say charcuterie?
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
See, it's not doing it. Okay, let me ask it more specific. Julian Mikhail.
It
Google.
tastes like a new coffee.
Julian Mikhail, how to pronounce charcuterie? This is hard. I asked it charcuterie, and it's giving me eau de toilette.
Oh boy, I'd love to know what.
Bonjour, this is Julian, the Frenchman who makes French pronunciation videos here on YouTube, and we are looking at how to pronounce this French phrase that you see on many perfume bottles or fragrances. That would literally translate in English from French into toilet water. This is a lightly scented cologne used as a skin freshener. It is also referred to as aromatic waters, which
Okay.
probably sounds better than toilet water. How do you go about pronouncing it? In French, we would say eau de
Yeah,
toilette.
you hold off on that. Just
We
play
got,
it again. Play it again.
We
man.
got Joe on the phone.
Okay, I have it
Wants to
I have it standing by. So
Right.
Yeah, Joe wants to talk more about the 14th Amendment stuff.
okay,
If you guys want to.
yes,
do you want to do a
absolutely.
mean farmer or no?
Oh, the mean farmer. Yes.
Well, do you want to do Joe
After
first?
After we get done with Joe and in our new pronunciation of toilet water.
Okay.
Yeah, toilet water is kind of a perfumey thing, right?
Well,
Why would they
what a
call it
ridiculous
toilet
name,
water?
right? I know.
15 seconds.
I know.
It's like a real
Because
negative.
Bidets, they have bidets there, so it's always refreshing. Having water sprayed in your butt.
Oh, how to say sacre bleu?
Oh no,
I gotta find that one.
Reaching for and never quite getting close to the high broadcast standards of the Civic Media Network, it's the John and Gordy Show on Mad Radio 92.7 FM WMDX.
sounds like one of our meetings.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
it's always a
We got
fun time.
By the way, we got another
What?
great pronunciation coming up, so hang on.
Yeah.
But right now, we've got Joe on the phones right now, and we want to talk more about the 14th Amendment, how it was completely screwed up by Supreme Court justices who should know better, who seem to be legislating from the bench, who are activists. We've heard activists, justice are bad. Well, they love it. They love that role. And let's talk to Joe. What do you got? What do you got, Joe?
Well, I think it was just sort of interesting. We are tied to the definition of insurrectionist and seems to be so wound up with Donald Trump and his supporters when it also is rather broadly. There are many different kinds of insurrectionists, right? I mean, the Confederate Army was an insurrectionist army going against the government. So what if you had, instead of Trump supporters who wanted to keep him in office, what if your insurrectionists were an actual Confederate offshoot that wanted to take over the government and engage in the kind of January 6 activities that we see, that we saw then? What if it was, a Confederate group? What if it was the White Brotherhood group, some offshoot of the Nazis who got, all of their supporters into take over the government? It's just,
I know.
How about a little failure? I think it's a real failure of imagination on the part of the Supreme Court, because insurrectionists can be rather broadly understood, right?
It can be. Yeah.
It could be, you name it, right?
Right.
I mean, there are all sorts of people who could be insurrectionists.
And now we're bypassing that. Now we can't do anything about it. Again, these people have just gained tremendous amount of power, all the groups you just mentioned. So they can
go ahead.
work their way into government and work from the inside.
Yeah, the door's open. Come on in. Yeah.
And again, Congress is going to spend all their time dealing with each and every group that comes before them now.
Yeah, it could be pretty broad, I mean, let's say it's a group of Russian nationalists who come into the United States and they support the idea that's been touted by Putin of a greater Russia. They believe that Alaska should be given away back to Russia because we didn't pay enough for it. Okay, so I mean, seriously, why not that as well as people who are supporting, this odd clown former president named Trump? They're both ludicrous that they should have that kind of power, but the Supreme Court has given them that. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's mind-numbing to even continue to think about it, and it's bothered me beyond belief. It really is. I am looking for more, legal opinions on this, so we'll be featuring them here on the show in the future as I find them. Of course, we haven't had too many of them,
See if a group of Nazis can then claim the same sort of protection. That would be very interesting to me.
Right.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay, Joe.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you for your call.
We're going to
Appreciate
have
it.
Farmer in just a moment, but I want to get to our new word. Something that has been bothering, I think, everybody for most of their lives, because no one has ever been able to figure out why anybody would call something toilet water as a fragrance or perfume. And we're gonna get to that interpretation right now. You've got that, Gordon?
Yeah, I do. I do have Julian Miguel. He's our pronunciation guide, and here he is talking about toilet water. Okay.
Bonjour, this is Julian, the Frenchman who makes French pronunciation videos here on YouTube, and we are looking at how to pronounce this French phrase that you see on many perfume bottles or fragrances. That would literally translate in English from French into toilet water. This is a lightly scented cologne used as a skin freshener. Cologne? It is also referred to as aromatic waters, which probably sounds better than toilet water. How do you go about pronouncing it? In French, we would say eau de toilette. Eau de toilette. But it'd be fine in English or American to say eau de toilette. Eau de toilette. From French, eau de toilette. Here are many more useful words from French that you may want to hear and nail the pronunciation of.
Okay.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, Julian. Okay. So, eau de toilette.
Ooh, the toilet.
You got it.
I love that. Yeah.
All right. We'll find out. Maybe we'll get another one here. But we have somebody on the phone first. All right. Let's go to Mark on the phone. Good morning, John and Gordy with you. Hello, Mark.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. And you just distracted me momentarily with eau de toilet. I don't know if you guys remember the old Saturday Night Live routine where they had the guys scooping water out of some sewage canal over in France, and then he was sniffing the woman's neck, and then had to turn around and look at the back of his shoe. You wear it because it's French.
I don't remember that. I'd love to see that. Yeah.
I did, but getting back to the more serious subject that I called on the 14th Amendment.
Yes.
I'd maintain that 14.2 that the whole fake elector thing was part of the insurrection, but get into the insurrection himself and that ability to hold office, I think the stress could be made that, that on the back end is, they can run for office, but they certainly can't be seated because, and maybe that's the.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's.
They're hanging on is that then once they've been elected to office, they can't take office because the Congress would have to, by 2/3 majority, have to remove that impediment. Technically on the language, I got my copy of the Federalist Papers sitting in front of me with the Constitution printed in it.
But that's interesting. Yeah, they could run for office, they could be elected, but they can't serve unless Congress acts and allows them to serve.
And that's what happened probably after, subsequent to the Civil War, I believe, in some cases. And that's, it sounds ridiculous, but seeing that, every single one of those insurrectionists' ass should have been pitched in jail, on the day of the insurrection, and then Trump subsequently. But and all his little supporters, including Mr. Ron Johnson, his involvement in the fake electors thing is becoming more and more apparent every day.
I agree. Johnson's role, I think he was only talking when he always talked to the press about spending just a few minutes. It was always that phone moment that we were talking about. But for him, that's what he wanted to talk about. He didn't want to talk about all the prefacing that went on before that phone moment that he said, I only spent like 3 seconds on the phone. Can't blame me for anything on that, right? Seditious 3 seconds. So.
Yeah, rolling back all the way to December 6th, apparently, before the fake electors even.
But I agree with you. I think the fake electors definitely should be part of the insurrectionist movement, and I believe it is part of it. So I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Mark, thank you for your call.
All right, Mark. Thank you, and
appreciate it.
Eau de toilette.
You want another one? We ready for?
Wow.
Or is it Mean Farmer time? You tell me.
It's Mean Farmer time.
Okay. Well, we got to get to that. We're ready?
Yeah. Because again, this is not. We're not taking shots at farmers. This is a mean farmer in Nebraska. Managed to put together these little vignettes that I think are fairly entertaining.
And instructive too. They're it's good information. It's an educational
that
thing.
We never get on the radio.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
Let's hear the Mean Farmer.
Listen.
Okay.
Hi, this is the Mean Farmer. And this week on the Mean Farmer Show, it's time for a real popular Mean Farmer Show feature, A Trip into Town.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah. I get into town once a season. The summer trip's always special. I hooked a honey wagon. For you city slickers, that's a manure spreader. Honey wagon, you get it? Up to the old 55 International 3-ton, slap the carbine in the gun rack, and then I call old Tammy Faye. She's my 455-pound Hampshire sow. She'll be 15 this year, little old and cranky. Had over 200 piglets, and they all ended up in town. Ooh, she knows. Oh, she knows where they ended up. Don't you think she doesn't? Anyway, load up, get out on the highway, and go about 7 or 8 miles an hour, slower up hills. People honk. They honk, some of them yell. They get right behind me ready to pass, and I edge over to the left there and back to the right, and then engage the manure spreader. Spray. Oh, boy, some of those little J-Pan cars swerve right off the road into the ditch. I get towards the top of a hill and wave them around. Come around, come around. They get into that passing lane, cross the yellow line, and when they see that tanker truck coming, they get back quicker than hell bar. Some of them stop and get out clutching their chests. Well, anyway, I get into town, head over to Ollie Udelhoffen's Red, White, and Blue Tap, let Tammy Faye out to wreak her terrible vengeance on the town folk. I just head on inside, run off the odd drunk banker or two, and suck down a case of PBR, a dozen pickled eggs or two, and yeah, that's a trip into town. Next week on the Mean Farmer Show, getting out of town. That's when the carbine comes in handy.
Oh, man.
That was that's one of my favorite ones. See?
The big Tammy Faye.
Yeah. wait till he introduces his pit bulls. You know.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man. He had the manure spreader going. Just give the people a spray behind him.
Haven't we all been behind that, right? We have.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Might have heard that Mean Farmer episode in the past.
Man.
That's like from the early '90s. He recorded those.
Yeah.
Still good
funny
today.
stuff. Yeah.
Still apply today.
We got to get a hold of Pam Yankee and see if she knows the Mean Farmer. I bet anything she knows him personally. That would be great.
You know. She knows.
Oh, you know. Yeah.
You know.
That evil laugh he has. It's just too much. Okay.
But I mean, that's
all
what
right.
you do. You know, you do that as a farmer. You back up traffic miles, and there's nothing you can do. And I know they don't have a mean-spirited bone in their body, but my God, you know, it is just impossible to imagine why they just don't somehow pull over a little bit more than they already have. Right.
Well, yeah, and then they swerve to the left. Yeah, they sense that you're about to pass, so they swerve over to the left so you can't pass them.
Wave you around at the top of a hill just to meet a tanker truck.
Now, you know, they got those big ones, those really big trucks.
Oh, sure.
That you could drive under. Have you been behind one of those?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I have a small car, and I'm always wondering, could I actually get under that vehicle?
Oh, boy. Yeah,
There's
I wouldn't
no
want
way
to
I'm
try.
gonna try. I could have probably done it with my Carmen Ghia many years ago.
Oh, yeah, that would have been.
Christmas Vacation, right?
What's that?
You've seen Christmas Vacation?
Yeah, so that's right.
It
Yeah.
happens in Christmas Vacation.
They did that.
Right. They in their station wagon, they drive under a semi truck, and then they're just chilling out there.
There
for a
you
while.
go. See, you can do it, and we could all try doing it ourselves. It's been done.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Highly recommended by the John and Gordy show.
There you go.
Hey, you want to learn some more French? We got just a minute or two here.
Yeah.
You ready for one more? Have you ever heard the word sacré bleu? Okay.
Yes.
Do you know?
No one knows how to say that.
All right. Well, here we go. Hang on.
Bonjour, we are looking at how to pronounce with the typical French pronunciation this French expression of surprise, exasperation, or dismay. You often hear in movies or said by English-speaking people that do not know French very well or haven't been in France very often. You often hear it said, sacré bleu, sacré bleu, while typically in France we would not say sacré bleu, but rather sacre bleu, sacre bleu, sacre bleu, not sacré bleu, but rather sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Got it?
Sacre bleu would be as close as you could say it in English.
Okay.
Sacre bleu, not sacré bleu. Why would you say sacré bleu?
Okay, we got it.
Sacre bleu.
Just
Sacre bleu.
Okay, Frenchie.
All right.
Good Lord. Can't shut him up now.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Remember Eau de Cologne, the skunk in Warner Brothers cartoon?
Oh, yeah. That was great
I think
stuff.
It was Eau de Cologne. Eau de Cologne.
Yeah, I don't know. 6:49. Coming up, AI is coming out in everything. What next? Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Mean Farmer. Jesus. That was hilarious.
Wow, that guy went on a rant. Jesus.
Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu.
Just went on. Yeah. In fact, if we could just continue that segment, record one, and then just keep bringing it back like he's still trying to work
He's
it out.
still doing it. Okay, we know how to. Charcuterie.
Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu. I think I got it now. I never would use that, but it's fine. Okay, what did you mention?
I don't know. I mentioned AI. We mentioned hard workers getting to sweat more.
Yes.
Is that a short story, or what is that about? I don't know what that is. AI.
like banning municipalities from setting temperature regulations. So it's all state controlled.
Okay.
For workplaces. 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. Broadcasting from the capital city of Wisconsin, it is Madison, and we're on State Street, a block away from the Capitol. And, we're not going to see the politicians around much anymore. They're going to on
they're
vacation,
busy.
at least the Assembly is.
Yeah.
The Senate's out there working real hard, doing nothing, as usual.
They're having meetings, aren't they?
I
think the Senate
Working
has.
hard or hardly working?
Hardly working.
Yeah.
These
Yeah, one
guys
of
should be
those.
part-time. They should just be part-time. They're full-time
Yeah.
legislature, and one of the few in the country. And they take so much time off, and they take time off to elect themselves, instead of serving the public. I mean, these guys get free health care. They get benefits, retirement benefits, and they're complaining about, having a little program or two for the working class because that's just too much government. Government gets too big that way.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm not buying that argument ever again. And I hope no one else does. All right? So now you have this special way to figure out how to say words. Okay, Gordy?
Do you want more?
Have an inside look on how to find out how to say something with a French accent in American. So
yes,
my head spins just thinking about what this means. But somewhere along the way, this guy is going to figure out that he could use AI, get his voice translated into AI, and then come up with any word and make it into a bot of some sort. Now he may not do that because I love his personality the way it is right now. The way he went on a rant before a break.
Yeah, he kind of went off on sacre bleu, bleu, sacre bleu.
He must have had a bad day that day.
Well, I'm looking for some more words here. I mean, he's got so many. He spent a lot of time putting this together,
With AI, you never know, but AI might also get into the mode of frustration and then go on a rant. They learn from the people who program it. And then, like me, I get out there and I start programming it, and I start, just rattling off every thought that I have into this thing. It might go on rants as well. And AI, by the way, I was reading this article.
Yes.
AI is in almost everything now. Every electronic device that is being made right now is integrating AI in some way, shape, or form. And now we wanted to integrate an AI partner on the program. Remember,
right?
We're still working on it.
Yeah, we're workshopping that, and it's not there yet.
It's prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, there's money involved. We need a big time sponsor to step up in order to do it the right way.
We could use a voice actuated AI device of some sort. Alexa, something really bad.
Yeah,
but we're not going to do that. What we want the visual as well. Even though this is a radio program, and we are certainly visual on some of the social media sources. You can watch us on Twitter X, Facebook, YouTube.
Right, we're out there.
Some secret devices, but
secret devices. Okay.
But we want a partner that has a face. We want somebody speaking to us. We want to look at them in the eye. There is a special device. They've got one. I can't remember what it is, Sylvia or something like that. But it has a screen, and it actually has a female picture.
Right.
So it's not just a face. It's that female sitting there, I think, or just standing there, and then talking to you.
And it kind of learns as it goes, right? It kind of picks up on things, and you can actually have a conversation after a while. And
that's
it has,
what we want. We want that device here in the studio. So we'll put it between us, and we'll ask her all these questions, and hopefully, we'll have a conversation
Yeah.
with an actual AI voice, as human as it could possibly be.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea, and
debate
we're
with us.
yes,
We'll see who's
because we
right.
need that. Yeah, we need
Right.
that. All right. Well,
Well, okay.
are you ready for another French word, or do you want to push on? I
Go
mean,
ahead. I've
are you
been-
sure? Are you familiar with the word charcuterie? Where you get a little like a plate full of vegetables and whatnot. I don't know. But anyway, let's hear. Julian has an idea about how to pronounce this. Okay. You ready? Here we go.
What is up, guys? Bonjour, this is Julian the Frenchman who makes
So
pronunciation
friendly.
videos here on YouTube, and we are looking at how to pronounce this category of food made of cured meats, dried pork in varied preparations, the ham, prosciutto and jamon, chorizo, salami, dried sausages and saucisson, mortadella, pate, speck, coppa, and many more. So how do you go about pronouncing this? There's going to be two different ways. The original French way, which may help you understand how and why it's said like this in English, and the English and American way. So in English or American, you'd say charcuterie. Charcuterie. You
Okay.
do want to insist on the Q part, and it's Q, not coup, because yes, it is a French word and a name of French origin, and the French pronounce the U. Charcuterie. Charcuterie. Now in French, you'd say charcuterie. 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 So in English, charcuterie. Here are more videos to learn how to pronounce food words that are hard to say in English and American. I'll leave you to it, and I will see you soon in the wonderful world of French pronunciation. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
No, that's the American way.
What-
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie. Ooh.
You don't say the Q.
Okay. I don't know.
I think that's what he said.
I don't know. Doesn't
There's
matter.
so much there.
They sounded
Yes.
almost the same to me.
Yeah, it didn't. There wasn't a big
Charcuterie.
variation.
How I would
Yeah,
say
I thought
All
it.
right.
I thought it sounded exactly the way he said it shouldn't be sounded.
Right.
In French. So
He's very particular.
but he is
He
very
knows what
particular.
he's talking about.
nitpicky.
I'm sure if we reviewed it in depth,
Really?
we would probably come to the right conclusion. But,
Really?
I
You're
don't
inviting
like
him?
that term very much, so we'll just,
Okay.
we'll let that be. We'll
Okay.
let that one lie.
What's up, guys? Bonjour, this is Julian the Frenchman.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Later.
Wait,
Later,
we got that
Julian.
one. Bonjour.
Okay. Bonjour. I wish I had taken French. What did you take in high school? It used to be required. You had a couple of years of language. I don't think they even require that anymore. Do they?
I think
In
you
Wisconsin, they still do.
Yeah.
Do they? Good.
Yeah, I believe it is.
In middle school, I had to take a language. In high school, I did not.
Right. But they expect you to do it if you want to get into AP classes or in college. You have to.
That's
take
right.
A
that
lot of
language.
colleges require it
Yeah,
for
a
different
certain amount of years. Oh,
Okay.
We're running out of time already. I didn't get to
I
my
know.
little story here.
This first hour just flew by. But coming up in our next hour, Stephanie Miller tickets. She's coming to the Barrymore. We've got some tickets to give away. Also, Moms for Liberty on damage control and a whole lot more. News, weather, and sports next. You're listening to the John and Gordy Show on Civic Media.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just like, whew, that was intense. Here we go.
What did you talk about right at the start of the last segment again?
AI.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I'll have one more standing by here. Let's see.
All right.
I don't want to burn this thing out too much, but it's probably already done that.
Well, we probably won't touch it for another week. Hey, you know what I thought? Here's an
Yeah,
idea.
go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
I thought if we could look at the menu at Short
Yeah.
Stack.
Yeah. Have a John and Gordy special.
Look at the ingredients that
Yeah.
we have in each menu item, and
Yeah.
then come up with our own kitchen lingo for it, and then suggest it to Alex and see how.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pick something.
That's a great idea. Did any of us take French in high school?
No.
I guess not. I took Spanish.
I took German.
I took German also.
Wow.
My son took German, and he's very good at it.
I'm surprised how much of it I still understand.
Sequential.
Sophia.
Why would you need? Here's a. Why would you need to know how to pronounce non-sequential?
Yeah, you never know.
Non-sequential is one of the ones that he.
Megas may need that. But do you speak German around the apartment?
I don't speak it. She's almost fluent in German.
No kidding.
So I can.
How did she get to be fluent at it?
Took it in school, and then she went to a couple like immersion camps
Yes.
where, you know what that is.
Yeah.
So if she speaks it, I can more or less understand what she's
See, my
saying.
wife went to Germany to visit her brother, who was in the military in Germany, and she remembers a lot of things in regard. I guess immersion really does work in some way, shape, or form. Now, get this! I saw this. I think it's a German CES show. That's where I got this AI story.
Oh.
And there is a brooch you put on your lapel, and it is the AI device, and it doesn't have it doesn't have a screen or anything. You just tap it, and it listens. By the way, if you're talking to somebody who is speaking German to you, it interprets that for you and says it out loud, so you know what they're saying.
It's like one of the things they had in Star Trek.
Yes.
Whatever they're called.
Yeah. It's just like that. And
right.
And it's a It has a little bit of a pause, a little bit too much of a pause for me, but it's like $500, and you buy this thing and walk around
I've seen
with
those.
it.
Yeah.
And then it has a laser beam in it, and it'll interpret what the person is saying if you don't want to hear it audibly. It interprets it, but when you hold your hand up in front of you, it detects your hand, and then it puts laser beams on your
so
hand.
You can read it?
So you can read it.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to just test drive this one. How to pronounce futile.
We are looking at how to pronounce these words, as well as how to say more confusing vocabulary that many mispronounce in English, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel to learn more. Two different ways of pronouncing it. In British English, it is said as futile, futile, stress on the first syllable.
I love the music in the background.
Futile. In American English, however, it is generally said as futile. And now you know more videos for you here to learn correct pronunciations.
I don't like that.
You know, I always say, I say futile just to get little, more emphasis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Futile is just, it sounds wrong. Futile sounds wrong.
Yeah, that does sound wrong.
It sounds like feudal.
Yeah.
From one, I have no idea why he's got one for 1888. Was 1888 a big thing in France? What happened in 1888? Because he's got one just for that.
When was the World's Fair over there?
Oh, maybe that was it. Let's see.
1889. That doesn't sound right either. I guess 1889. So I don't know.
He sounds like some of these are only 4 months old. So he's cranking these things out. We'd like to track him down and get him on the air.
2 minutes.
Where are we?
Okay, I know. I'm going down the rabbit hole on this now. Sorry.
I'm going to get the Biden economy in. We'll get into the hotter right after that. There's.
I mentioned Moms for Liberty. You got something on that?
Right.
No.
Let's go to. How do you say Buddha Judge? Is that how you say?
Yeah,
it?
Buddha Judge. Yeah, just Buddha Judge. Buddha Judge. Judge.
I got two cuts from Buddha Judge, 410 or 409, 410, either both of them.
Yeah.
He is so seriously. I maybe even shouldn't play these. I am just so amazed by his fluidity.
He's brilliant, man.
You can't say anything. You can't win an argument with him. Let me just put it out. Okay.
How do you say 1888?
For today, How do you pronounce this number? This would most usually be used as a date, obviously, a year.
Oh, yes.
As a year, as a
You
date.
can't get rid of it. I'll just cue it up later.
All right. Yeah, I know.
Are we coming up?
30 seconds.
88. 1888, or American English, 1888. As a number, it can also be pronounced as 1888. Here are more videos on how to pronounce more confusing words.
That, Gordy,
I don't know.
That was a very condescending moment for me.
It was. He was like
condescending to us,
10
like
seconds.
like
to
we're
Americans.
idiots.
Yeah, he's like, hey.
Yeah, we just.
All right.
Mad Radio, WMDX 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. If you ever want to hear that theme song music that we have, check out my blog site, democurmudgeon.blogspot.com, and there's a little tab up there that says John and Gordy's Media World, and it's the intro to our show that we had. We had a cable access show, and we interviewed every possible person in Madison you can think of. They're probably all dead now, but you know.
No, they're not all dead. There's some radio people there, some and TV people. Yeah, a lot of TV people stopped
magazine
by.
writers, newspaper writers. We had everybody on.
Because they figured it's cable access, they could say anything. They could really,
no one's going to see it.
Nobody would see it, and then we'd
the
all.
highest rated cable access show ever in the history of Madison.
That's right. Yeah.
Probably the state. I would assume.
Probably. Can't prove it, but it's okay.
But we can say that now.
Yeah, we had that music, and and there's a better recording of it somewhere. I'm still trying to find it, but boy, yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was something that
late
you created.
Late 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recorded it at a studio in Boscobel, and I know the guy, Jamie Goldsmith, and I've been in contact with him because I want to find a better recording of that, and it's a little clearer
so
recording.
He's taking his time trying to find it.
He probably erased it. I don't know.
Well, my reels of tape at home, I tried to get some actual Mean Farmer master tapes to work from, and the tape oxides just were falling off and sticking to each other, and it was just a miserable mess, and quite messy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got some really good. Luckily, I transferred them all to cassette, which seems to last forever, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, cassettes are really actually quite durable. Some of the older ones are still fine.
It was big, the best tape you could ever possibly get, and the oxide's falling off. But cassettes, cheap tape, very thin, and they last forever. Who knows? All right, let's get to the economy, okay? Because, do
we have
we don't talk about how great the economy enough here on the program, but we should be. On Morning Joe, there's a guy named Steve Ratner, and he brings up all of the details of the economy, and he recently brought up inflation. Real inflation-adjusted incomes are up across the board throughout the Biden tenure. Now, you don't hear that very often, but it's true. And I think we're going to hear a lot about it because I think, Congress is going to go away for vacation, and then we can focus on what has been done so far. The incomes, as far as Ratner is concerned, with the fastest growth occurring at the bottom of the income ladder, which is fantastic. Even excluding post-2020 catch-up growth, the U.S. has added more jobs per month under Biden than any other president. And it's pretty all-consuming, every other president.
That's
right.
That's big. That's
and then
huge.
They have these statistics here. Unemployment rate is 2.7% nationwide. Jobs added 10%. Wages 15% up. Dow Jones 24% up. New home sales 12% up. The interest rates are going down just a little bit for home sales, mortgage rates. So anyway, that's part of that look. Oil, gas, and renewable energy production are all a high time. By the way, I want to mention that we've got a track here a little bit later from Chuck Grassley. He said, "Oh, well, energy is done, and we're becoming a dependent nation on oil." Not quite.
No.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
No.
But we have a couple of tracks here from Pete Buttigieg. He was interviewed on Fox News Business, and he just, there's something about Pete that he can just say something very, very clearly and concisely and destroy whatever argument somebody is trying to make against him or the administration. He is so smooth, so good at this, and so honest and pleasing. Just, I don't know. Maybe that's why I like to play tracks from Pete Buttigieg. Let's play the first one here.
Hold on, let's be clear here, though. Let me finish first. But every time we hear those talking points that suddenly it was Republicans who ruined the border, that's why people get so frustrated. We know what President Biden said about inviting people in. We know that he got rid of all the things that were keeping the border closed that President Trump had put in. We know that he got rid of all those. So when you say it's not his fault,
that's literally not true. It's literally not true that he got rid of the measures. It's true he got rid of family separation.
Did you see 7.2 million people come in during the Trump administration? It was a trickle.
He got rid of the policy to tear children out of the arms of their parents. That's true. But it is not true. Some of the other things that have been suggested. Let's be clear. Bipartisan efforts at border reform have taken place in 2015, 2006. I mean, literally since the Reagan administration, right? There have been bipartisan efforts to get something done here. But I really believe we've gotten to the point where many congressional Republicans find it so useful as a cudgel that they would rather keep the problem going for political uses than solve the problem and risk the chance that the president could share in the credit for that. In the same way that we see some of them, even though we had great bipartisan cooperation on the infrastructure bill that I work on, a lot of them who were against that, only to turn around and try to get credit for it when we actually have a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking.
The reason that some of these numbers stay where they are is because it just seems like instead of actually owning some of the issues that we have, instead of acknowledging that the president maybe has lost a step, the administration keeps saying, "Don't believe your lying eyes," and that's why you're
respectfully, Joe,
that's why you're at 18%.
Respectfully, I think congressional Republicans are saying, "Don't believe your lying eyes," which is why they're polling at about 15% right now.
I know that right Congress is never. Congress isn't running
have
for
economic numbers that
president.
Is it my lying eyes that under Joe Biden we've had the most job creation in American history? Is it my lying eyes telling us that unemployment and inflation are both below 4% and have been that way for the longest time in who knows when? Is it reality or is it spin?
There you go. Not bad, huh?
Pretty good, yeah.
The guy tried to talk over him and, spew his lies and his spin, but it didn't work with Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Not in any way, shape, or form. Let's just continue with that conversation here.
Okay.
In that way for the longest time in who knows when? Is it reality or is it spin? To point out the fact that manufacturing jobs are up under this president and we're down under the last president. These are matters of simple fact.
When we heard for 3 years the border's closed and it's secure, and Mayorkas said it's closed, and 7.2 million people have come into where our big cities have no idea how to handle this. And then you hear from the administration
here's the thing.
that it's not their fault.
This is really important, okay? The common sense position, and the position that, by the way, a lot of moderate Democrats and moderate Republicans would always say, the kinds of things that you hear at the Chamber of Commerce in Indiana, where I come from, is that there ought to be more legal immigration and less illegal immigration. And yet when there's a chance to actually do that, that's not what happened. The last administration cut legal immigration. And meanwhile, our economy is pulling people just as much as terrible conditions in Latin America are pushing people. And when there's finally a bipartisan compromise that would help address at least some of those issues, congressional Republicans couldn't get it done because Donald Trump, who's not even in elected office, killed it. That is a fact.
Oops.
We'll see whether
Drop the mic.
Moves the needle. I just think, the American public just want something that benefits them. They just don't want to hear
So do we.
that what they see
do we,
isn't
Joe.
happening, Mr. Secretary. But we appreciate your time, and we'll be watching on Thursday night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Couldn't quite pull that away from the conversation.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. There was this big deal. Elon Musk spread the rumor. He said 175 million followers on his platform. He told them that Biden committed treason by secretly chartering flights to bring in 320,000 illegal immigrants into the United States.
Wait a minute. Elon Musk said this?
He posted it
on
to
X?
his 175 million followers.
Mm.
Right? And by the way, there's an algorithm that basically pushes out his messaging. So, very nice, Elon. Let's be clear. Everything about this claim is a brazen lie. And this is Judd Legum. He's a reporter, a journalist, and he disproved all of it. He said Musk is referring to a parole program for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. This is not a secret. Biden announced it in a speech in January of 23. It was covered extensively in the media. It was promoted in press releases, and it is featured now on the U.S. homepage. And further, Biden is not chartering any flights. Individuals are buying their own tickets on commercial flights. If the beneficiary has been authorized to travel to the United States, they must arrange and fund their own travel, according to the website in the United States. The program is not treason. It is completely legal. The Immigration and Nationality Act gives the administration the ability to admit individuals for humanitarian reasons. It has been used by every Democrat and Republican president since the law was passed, and guess when? 1952.
A long time ago.
Thing.
No,
I
it's
know.
been going on for a long
Musk-
time.
Elon Musk seems to think it's a new thing, but they also are ineligible to vote, and that's why Elon Musk brought it up. They brought up this because they think 320,000 immigrants are going to vote for Joe Biden, and that's why they brought it up. And there's no evidence that any of these non-citizens are voting in the U.S. None. It could happen. It could.
And didn't Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they had a meeting not too long ago. They're working together. It's kind of a secret meeting. They met in Palm Beach, Florida. Nobody knows exactly what was discussed. They haven't always gotten along. In fact, most of the time they've not gotten along. So it's kind of unusual that they're having a meeting. Yeah, maybe Trump's running out of money and looking for a big-time donor, right? I'm not sure if Elon Musk, has any affinity to do any ideas to do that.
I read a tweet from Elon, and he said, no way is he going to donate any money to either party.
Okay.
So I guess that's what came out of that meeting.
Right? He's not opening up the wallet for anybody.
Nope.
Okay. He's
So
saving
we'll
it
see
for
what
himself.
happens.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll probably do it under the table. Right.
Keep an eye on. Well, yeah, that's
He's got
probably.
billions. He doesn't have to necessarily write any of that off if it is
Mm-hmm.
writable.
All right.
He's the second richest guy in the world. He's got connections.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm. It is 18 past the hour. Sunshine today. Highs in the mid-50s. Coming up shortly, we've got a pair of tickets to Stephanie Miller's comedy tour that's coming to Madison at the Barrymore on May 11th. Stand by for that. It's coming up. I'm going to do that in the last half hour.
What's that?
Maybe. Well, I'm a secret here. We'll do it when we do it. I don't know when. But yeah, Stephanie Miller tickets. Yeah, we got tickets. Tickets to give away. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't wait so
When should
long.
we do
Why
it?
are you making people wait? What's wrong with you? It's really cool. I just want everybody
Just
to
wait
know.
till we're on for a little bit, and you're not gonna plan to play a cut for a second, so I can answer phone.
You tell me when would you like me to do it, Sam?
John, are you planning to play stuff soon?
I'm just looking right now. We got some time here, right?
I'd like to hold on to him to the
no, we don't.
Got
after the
20 seconds.
after the news.
Um,
After the news. After the news.
After the news.
Yes, I think so.
After the news.
Maybe.
That's where you have time. That's where
Yeah,
you have time.
last
You have
half
time.
hour. Last half hour. Let's do that.
10 seconds.
All the people listening are like, okay, last
There's
half
2 people listening.
hour. Me and you.
Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. This is the capital city, Madison, and a good morning to you. Beautiful sunny day today, and it's got to at least be going up to about 70, I would assume.
No, mid-50s today, John, but, close.
It feels like it could go up to 80 today.
You're wrong, but, go ahead. Just put that out there.
Why do you
Miss
want
it,
it to
mince,
be 80
it's,
degrees? That's
it's
too
misinformation.
That is way too warm. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah? You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
Could you queue up cut 407 for me?
407, Sam.
We brought this up, and a lot of people are still reeling and rocking from this. Actually,
Which?
Okay, here it is. This is the new now governor candidate for North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mark Robinson. We talked about it a few days ago, and before the primary election, and he was voted the voters' choice to be the candidate to run against the Democrat in North Carolina to be the next governor. And this is 407 Mark Robinson, what he has said in the past. Let's check that out.
I honestly believe, Chris, that is what the left is doing with the Harvey Weinsteins, the Bill Cosbys, the Matt Lauers. They have picked out an elite group of people that have committed these so-called sexual crimes or whatever kind of crimes they've committed or offenses, and they have thrown those people underneath the bus, eating their own, to breed a spirit of fear in people, so people will be afraid to stand up and speak up and get involved, because they want people to say, they know everybody's got something in their past. Everybody's sins come short of the glory of God. They know that.
There you go. That's crazy
Wow.
stuff, isn't it?
So he's running for North Carolina governor, and
I guess the point I want to make here is that the voters thought this guy should be their choice.
Mm.
I can't wrap my head around this at all. What are they thinking?
What I was a little confused by what he said there. Is he saying that all people in government have something to hide from their past, or just Democrats, and other people, quote unquote, like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, have something from their past?
Right. And they focused on them, locked them up, trying to scare people that this will happen to them because everybody's got something in their past. Mm-hmm. And it is against liberals, progressives, and Democrats. That's what it's all about. I mean, this is, and it's obviously projection. This is what they're doing, actually. With banning books and the woke thing that they made up out of whole cloth.
Thin air,
it doesn't exist. There's nothing like it anyplace. Who knows what it is? It's undefinable. But again, the question is, what are the voters thinking? And I want to see some man on the street interviews with people. Why they chose this guy, not as just their lieutenant governor, but now the candidate for governor in that state. What are they thinking? This guy is just crazy, off the top, conspiratorial idiot.
Well, he's Trump like crazy. He just says anything to try to get the base riled up, and it's North Carolina, so they got a chance. And so Mark Robinson's going to just say anything, defend Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby. Right. You heard him say those. I mean, everybody's got something in their closet. Wonder what he's got in his closet. Because you're right. He's projecting. They're projecting.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. Right?
It was such a horrible thing that happened in regards to Bill Cosby. And it's hard to imagine that he had to do what he set up doing. Just really, it just freaked me out. And it freaked me out because he was part of a TV show I used to watch way back when, I Spy.
Oh, sure.
Robert Culp.
Yes.
I actually fashioned myself after Robert Culp.
Yeah.
I saw the way he stood, the way he walked. I loved his movements. And,
good hairstyle
tried
too.
To be like him. Yeah.
Had a '60s hairstyle that he always had, all the way up, all the way to the end. Yeah.
And he was tall, lanky. I emulated everything he did, and I thought, wow, this would be a great show for people to rewatch. I Spy, fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a pairing of a black and a white guy.
First time ever.
I think it was one of the very first shows to do that.
Yeah.
And,
Sure. Yeah.
And one was a tennis star, and the other was his manager. So basically, it was a fantastic spy show. And then Cosby did what he did, and it's just like, just kind of destroyed rerun possibilities everywhere.
Well, yeah, and for the Cosby Show, where he was America's favorite dad and everything, he's always had the great advice for the kids, and all of that just gone.
Yeah.
Gone after what he did. Yeah.
And everybody doing, Cosby impressions about Jell-O, right? The whole thing. And you can't imagine why somebody, like Bill Cosby, fairly good-looking guy, having to resort to, putting drugs in drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But anyway, again,
a fall from grace.
Why do voters prefer a guy that has these kinds of thoughts, these kinds of theories and conspiracies? Maybe that's part of their world now, and it's something that a lot of us just can't wrap our heads around. Maybe, right?
It's the crazy bizarro world, the opposite of what you think, should be, and the opposite of good is evil, and they just support each other and keep coming up with more crazy stuff.
I think after this next break, we're going to get into this bizarre world way of looking at things, and it's dealt by Joe Scarborough. He was very angry about what Trump said after the primaries.
Yeah,
and we're going to get into that because he basically told everybody that the U.S. is a third world country. And the voters are, cheer that on, right? Of course, I love the cut. I think we have it someplace where he not only said it was a third world country, but it was a fourth world and a fifth world.
What is that supposed to mean?
I know.
Exactly.
I'm figure that out.
Just making stuff up now.
Dimensional kind of guy, a multiverse kind of guy.
Say, I got a question for the two of you.
Okay. Yeah.
For what makes people tick? What convinces people to vote for a certain candidate that to normal people would make absolutely no sense? When you guys were in school, did they teach you about like the 3 different methods of persuasion or how to convince people?
No, I don't. I don't remember anything like that.
It goes back to like the ancient Greeks.
We missed that class in indoctrination.
Oh, I see. Some people need to go back to school and learn about how people are persuaded and how they're influenced without even thinking about it.
Yeah. My kids, just recently out of school, are talking about that all the time. They bring this up, and I wish I could take these classes and just sit in and listen to some of the background information that they get, and they can analyze what's going on today in a much better way than I could.
Now we just have a minute left, but Sam, do you you said the 3 ways that people are persuaded? Is that?
Can you remember?
I gotta remember here.
I let him off the hook.
The appeal by logic, so you present like a logical argument.
Sure.
Sometimes
okay, that's one.
Appeal by emotion. That's a lot of what Trump does. He gets people riled up and angry
Sure.
about something. Right. And then the appeal by credibility. If you're like a scientist or something, usually people are more inclined to listen to you. Not always.
Yeah.
And I thought, those
science,
those Botox shots that got rid of some of the wrinkles in young people's faces. I thought that helped too.
Persuasion.
You see these commercials, these good-looking people, young people getting rid of the lines in their face. What lines?
What are you talking about? Okay.
No, it's just an ad that bothers me a whole hell of a lot.
29 past, news, weather, Pam Yankee, back with Stephanie Miller tickets. Do you have anything you're going to? What's your story here? And
The
do you
story
have
is going to be
a
Joe
cut?
Scarborough, and it's going to be cut 405 and 406. It's
Okay,
Trump
after-
on the cut 405 and 406 is Scarborough.
Okay. Do you have a story after that, or should we do the
Moms
thing?
for Liberty. Or
Let's.
what?
Does that have a cut too? Moms for Liberty.
No.
Okay. You want to do that thing that we want to do?
Yeah, you want to do it before the Moms for Liberty thing?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, let's do the Joe Scarborough stuff.
Yep.
We
Then,
still should have about 4 or 5 minutes left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are we doing? We're doing tickets next, right?
Yeah.
After Joe Scarborough.
Are you dancing her now?
Here's what I think we should do is do
Okay,
the
you tell
ticket
us.
giveaway before the news, so you can sit there
Before
and
what?
before the news.
It's happening right now.
That's
I know.
right. So we
That's
should have
what I
done it
wanna
then.
do in the future. If we
Oh.
have tickets.
Okay.
Well,
And
tomorrow.
then you have time to do this.
Yeah.
Without any.
All right.
cuts.
Well, again.
I'm just
Tomorrow,
saying,
that's our last giveaway for the time being, anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how the
I
thing
just told
goes,
everybody
but,
to just enjoy it.
Again, we could discuss this later, but that's fine. Nobody's listening yet.
Let's do third caller.
Okay.
And make sure to give the full number out.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Right. Let's listen to Julian for a minute here.
Looking at Julian's pronunciation guide, where we look at how to pronounce better some of the most mispronounced words in the world, like this other curious word. But how do you say what you're looking for today? How do you pronounce this number? This would most usually be used as a date, obviously, a year. As a year, as a date, it's said as 1888 or 88, 1888, or American English 1888. As a number, it can also be pronounced as 1888. Here are more videos on how to pronounce more confusing words and names too many mispronounced. Like this video if you found it useful. I appreciate your support. I'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Oh God, I love
Wait a
that.
Confusing
That is
words
so
and names too many.
nonsensical.
1888.
Why would he choose 1888? What does 1888 have to do
Well,
with
probably
anything?
has one for every year.
He's got like 300 videos.
He's kicking himself now. You know, AI is taking his job. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wonder if he has something about fantastic.
Je veux. He's got a lot of non-sequential. Why would you need that? Okay. Let me just listen.
1 minute.
Okay. All right. When I'm playing that from the phone, is it really loud to you guys?
It's fine.
It sometimes
It starts
starts
off loud, but then you turn it down.
Well, I mean, it comes out really loud.
Yeah. Well, it's because the French are loud.
Julien.
They record things loud.
Julien Michael. Julien Michael.
Old girlfriend went to France and married a Parisian on me.
25 seconds.
And that-
Julien Michael.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we return you to the John and Gordy Show, already in progress. In other words, yeah, they don't know they're on the air. Again. Hey guys, hello? Hey guys, hello? Your mics are on. Hello?
What?
They are?
Oh, jeez, I get it.
Who turned our mics on?
They're on all the time on social
They
media.
are? Why did they tell us that?
I don't know. What we say during the commercials is meant for those listening and sneaking a listen in on the show. It's fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's get into.
It's Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX.
Let's get into Donald Trump a little bit here because he had an amazing acceptance speech.
Yeah.
That, now that he is the major candidate and everybody else has dropped out, now he is the winner.
Yes.
So he made a little speech, and boy, that Joe Scarborough guy, who is a conservative, just ripped into this little speech. Let's check out a sample of Trump's speech here.
Okay.
Country was coming together. Our country was coming together. And now we have a very divided country. We have a country that a political person uses weaponization against his political opponent. Never happened here. It happens in other countries, but they're third world countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or fourth world or fifth world countries. Yeah, that's what's happened. It's projection again. Fine. So anyway, Joe Scarborough went on a little rant here, and let's play it.
He kept trashing America. Like, that's Donald Trump's message. Ronald Reagan would talk about how we are a city shining brightly on the hill for all the world to see. Donald Trump's message is America sucks. It was America sucks before he got elected. It's America sucks now. He talked about American carnage even after he got elected. He lied about an illegal invasion when Barack Obama and Joe Biden had rates at 50-year lows when he was going in January of 2017 for illegal border crossings. But last night, over and over again, we're a third world country. Yeah. Oh, are we really? Oh, I didn't know that third world countries had unemployment below 4% 2 years running for the first time since the 1960s. And I don't know, I'm an American, so I'm kind of proud of that. And we fret about a movement that is based on the proposition that the United States of America sucks. That is Donald Trump's message. That's a crazy thing. Donald Trump's campaign is based on so many lies. To me, the most offensive is that we're a third world country, that our economy sucks, that our military sucks, that our democracy sucks, when in fact, just the opposite is true. We are the greatest in the world. I'm proud to be an American. This is the greatest country in the world. And yet Donald Trump wins votes. What's wrong with you people? Why do you hate America? Why do you vote for a guy that says America is terrible? That it's a third world country? All the evidence is to the contrary.
It's so, it's so surreal almost to listen to a conservative talking up a Democratic president. This whole thing, it's you're hearing it from Charlie Sykes. It's bizarre that they're promoting Democrats. These Republicans, they wish their Republican Party were back. Well, that ain't going to happen. But now they have to hitch their wagon to the Democratic Party because they're the ones serving the public at this point. And they're amazed. They're asking, why are people choosing these people to vote for? Just as I had asked last hour, the governor candidate, Mark Robinson, in North Carolina, why did they choose him, this conspiracy guy? The guy who's laying out there just, every possible theory possible to divide people and cast aspersions on Democrats all the time. And why would you vote for this guy? He's offered nothing policy-wise that makes any sense.
He's just trying to, he's just trying to jump on the Trump train, the crazy train, and get elected and be part of the craziness.
That's right.
So let's put him up. Yeah. All right. Hey, you know what? We've got tickets to give away, John. We've got some Stephanie Miller tickets to give away, and we're going to do it right now to the third caller, 608-879-8255. Dial carefully, 608-879-8255. 8255. 2 tickets to Stephanie Miller, the Sexy Liberal Save the World Comedy Tour is coming to the Barrymore Theater. It's happening Saturday, May 11th at 8 p.m. They're going to have the whole gang there. Stephanie Miller and John Fugelsang, Hal Sparks and Frangella. It is an 18-plus only show. So call us right now if you're interested in going. 608-879-8255. Third caller gets the tickets.
And the staff here will be
Yeah.
in the lobby. We'll be harassing people, and
We're gonna be
throwing popcorn at them.
No,
okay. Is that what we're
we'll
gonna
be
do?
in the, we'll be in the
That's why we're gonna
lobby.
be there, right?
We'll be meeting and greeting people. Yeah, we'll be there. It'll be a fun night. It's going to be great, actually.
We'll be
yeah,
bouncers.
it's
We'll
going to be
be
a
the
good time.
bouncers, right? Okay.
Bouncers, really?
We'll be
I don't think that's necessary.
yeah.
Should
If
be a
some
fun
of-
night.
If some of those megas show up, we'll be there. We'll be
Okay,
there.
really?
We'll
Let's
protect- we'll
let's go
protect
there.
Stephanie. we'll keep the bad people out. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
You know, I want to mention something about why do people pick these people, and Joe Scarborough's rant here, where he said this
Yeah.
is the greatest country in the world. I had actually had that conversation with my my sons. They're in their 20s, Generation Zs. And they said, well, we're not the greatest country in the world. I said, yes, we are. We actually are. Just because you disagree with the handling of Israel and the Gaza, I understand that. We got that. But we are the main power. We are the major power in the entire globe. People look to us for help when they need it to protect freedom and liberty in other areas of the globe. We are there. We're this this shiny light. And he doesn't understand. They don't get it. This generation doesn't understand that no matter what policy differences you have with the administration in charge, you really have to remember that the reason we're here is we are the preeminent power in the globe, and we've got that kind of responsibility. And what Trump wants to do is give that all up, throw away NATO because people aren't paying enough into freedom. I guess you got to pay money into freedom.
Yeah, and the Democrats are sort of listening all this craziness and trying to be optimistic about the road ahead and everything. I've got this cut from Simon McGowan, and we've played this before, but I think it bears repeating because it talks about all the accomplishments of the Democrats, especially in the voting booth where it really counts. Over the last several years. So take a listen to this.
In 2018 and 2020, we had great elections. We took away the House, the Senate, and the presidency from MAGA and felt great about ourselves. But what usually happens next is the party in power usually loses seats and loses midterm elections and loses special elections and off-year elections. That's very traditional in our political system. And that hasn't happened. We've actually, since Dobbs happened in the spring of 2022, we just keep winning and they keep struggling. It's something historically anomalous is taking place in this country that needs, frankly, far more attention than it's really getting, because it's not just that we've won a race here or there. We've been winning all kinds of races all over the country now, over 3 calendar years since the spring of 2022. And this basic dynamic of our overperformance and our winning, which we saw show up in the battleground states in 2022, we saw play out all across the country in 2023, is now showing up in 2024. And if I could just be really brief, I mean, what we've seen just in the last few weeks is this Republican struggling. They had anemic turnout in Iowa. 20 to 30% of the Republican electorate could abandon Trump, or at least are open or deeply worried and concerned about his candidacy, with a smaller share of that even being open, very open to voting for Biden. We've never seen that kind of stuff before in modern American history, where so many voters of one party were already this early ready to vote for the leader of the other party. And their party is now broke, and they're replacing their chair. Their new speaker is a joke, right? I mean, their party is an unprecedented mess. They're struggling, and we just keep winning, right? We won all across the country in 2022 and 2023. We flipped this House seat in Orlando, Florida a few weeks ago, which no one thought we were going to win. And the victory we had in New York 3 was huge. This wasn't just a win. We didn't just stumble across the finish line. We lost that seat by 8 points just a year and a half ago, and we just won it by 8 points. And so remarkable performance for us, consistent with what we've been seeing all across the country. And it's why I'm so optimistic about what's going to happen in 2024, because when voters vote, we win and they lose. And it's the likely thing that's going to happen in November. And Donald Trump, because he's impulsive and he's weak, he lost more than a few steps, and is a far weaker candidate, has guided again the Republican Party to a place of ruin. And so I don't know what they're going to run on in 2024 that's going to get them anywhere closer to voters. I mean, all of their major talking points against Biden have evaporated in the last few months. The economy is strong, inflation's down, crime and murder rates are down all across the country. There is no war in energy. We're producing more oil and renewables than we ever had in the history of the country. And now this one issue that they had, immigration, the border, they fumbled that. They stumbled, because they're incompetent and wild and erratic and unhinged and extreme. They fumbled that too. And now that's been taken away from them too. And so what they're left with is the Mad King. They're left with madness now. And I think the more that we can draw this contrast between the workhorse, Joe Biden, who's, getting up every day, doing the people's business, making the country better, and this madness and chaos on the other side, the more I think we're going to have the kind of election we want to have in November.
So that's Simon McGowan. Simon McGowan, he's a political commentator. He's on MSNBC a lot and other news shows. But, that's just by the numbers. Democrats have a lot to look forward to in 2024.
I also have
if that trend continues.
That plays right into that. It's an interview with a bunch of people who are Republicans, and they're saying that, with Trump in there, they're going to go with Biden. And we'll play that in just a few moments. Do you want to tell everybody that we have a winner for the Stephanie Miller tickets, and it's Tom. Thank you, Tom, for giving us a call, and we'll see you out there at the show.
Yep. Tom from Blue Mounds, congratulations to you. And yes, that show Saturday, May 11th, Stephanie Miller at the Barrymore Theater. John, I do need to mention that today, beginning at 10 a.m. And going till 10 p.m. tonight, this is for our listeners only, Mad Radio 92.7 listeners. You have a chance to get exclusive pre-sale. Tickets actually go on sale for that show, the Stephanie Miller Show, tomorrow. But you can get a pre-sale deal today from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Use the promo code BLUE at checkout. Just go to Ticketmaster.com and you can order those tickets or over the phone, 608-241-8864. That's Ticketmaster.com. And again, that begins at 10 a.m. and the code is BLUE, promo code BLUE at checkout. And then the tickets actually go on sale tomorrow for everybody else. All right?
All right.
Okay.
We have a whole bunch of calls here, so let's go to our first one, Dick. Let's go to Dick. What do you got for us on Trump, Dick?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of things in his 4 years. For instance, the one thing that he did that was going to help the economy, that tax cut. Mm-hmm. All that did is help corporate and put average people in a deeper hole. He did nothing with infrastructure. He constantly talked about he was going to do, and then we were going to have Cadillac health care. Nothing. Right. He was the biggest nothing for 4 years you could think of, except for constant chaos.
Right, exactly.
The people that think about voting for him, why would you do this unless you want to go back to that nonsense?
Absolutely.
And those people that are so worked up about the Gaza situation, I get it too, but this is a guy who wants to deport people.
Right.
Yeah.
Or shoot them at the border.
First day he goes, yeah, you're right, exactly. So.
Or shoot shoplifters. Shoot shoplifters to get that message out that you shouldn't shoplift anymore. If you kill a few, it'll get the message.
Yeah, and then you get Mitch McConnell stepping back and into the arena, and I'm down with that guy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
The guy that condemned him after 9. It's just you could go on for hours.
Yeah, the contradictions are amazing. All right, Dick, thanks for calling. Let's get to this. I don't know how much. We don't have any time for this next.
We got
We'll play it right after the break.
Okay.
And we're going to get to Trump voters, basically, or Republican voters, saying that now that they've got this choice, they're not going to go with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a moment.
7:49. Good looking day ahead of us. Highs in the mid 50s today. When we come back, tidbits, this, that, and the other, and some leftovers too. How do you pronounce Frangela? Is it Frangela?
Frangela.
Yeah.
Not Frangela, apparently. who is that? I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Frangela?
Yeah, who is that?
That's one of the people on the show.
She's a stand-up comedian.
Oh, with Stephanie Miller? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you announced that they were giving away, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Casey James? You had Casey James up there in the caller list.
Yeah, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Who?
He's an announcer in town, or was.
Huh.
Yeah.
Casey James. Where?
TDY, I believe. TDY.
I didn't see that.
WTDY.
Did he get off the phone?
It's a screen up here where we get the callers and stuff. But yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I don't know. And another person too. No one's on the list at this point. We'll just we'll play this cut.
Okay.
And it's
10 seconds.
It's good stuff. I like it. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. Madison, the John and Gordy Show, and a good morning to everybody. 608-879-8255 or 879-TALK, or get a hold of us through the Civic Media app, where you can call us or text us, or check it out on all the social media sources that we are broadcasting live on today. All right, just do that. Now let's get to this track where a lot of Republicans were interviewed now that the choice has been made who to pick. They are making their choice, and this is cut number 408. Let's listen to it.
Republican. I am. What do you do in that event if he is the nominee and it's he and Joe Biden? What do you do? I vote for Joe Biden.
Is there any chance you would stay at home on Election Day?
No. I love American democracy too much that Biden and Trump, if it's a Biden and Trump race, then I would vote for Biden, even if he was dead.
No chance I'd stay home.
And I'm a Republican.
Have you decided who you're going to support on Tuesday?
Yes, I think I have. I think I'm a Nikki supporter.
Are you open to supporting Joe Biden?
I am. I voted for him in the last election. I haven't been pleased with some of his policies.
What have you been most displeased with?
Just the spending and his treatment of the border. I think we've got real problems that he's failing to recognize and do something with. But he's a much better choice than Trump.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah.
That's just a few people. You didn't hear that much prior to what's happened, basically, what's unwound, and more of the unhinged comments that we've heard from Trump lately. So I think people are starting to get that message, and there's not going to be a lot of policy passed by this administration at this point because of the election. So we're just going to hear over and over and over what Trump has in mind for the nation, and it's pretty close to the Project 2025 that we're hearing about. And who knows where it's going to go from there.
Well, and Nikki Haley has dropped out of the race. She gave it up a couple of days ago, and so now it's down to Trump and Biden, and and so here we go. For the next 8 months.
I was going to play a cut from her.
Yeah. Okay.
In one of her concession speeches, and all of a sudden last night I'm watching. And somebody went on and had been talking about all of the other comments she's been making and all the other talk shows. And she's zany and crazy. And there's no way that I'm going to say, oh, well, she was right here. This was well said. I agree with her on this. There was no way I'm going to do that because she's crazy too. I'm just done with all this rhetoric. Here it is. I just want to let people know that we're not trying to slam Republicans in this. It's just that they're saying crazy things, and it deserves to be dealt with. That's what it's all about. We just want, we want people who are elected to government to serve us, the people, not to give tax cuts to the wealthy and do trickle down or voodoo economics. We've seen it. It hasn't worked. We haven't benefited, you and me, the hardworking class in this country, we haven't benefited at all from any of this stuff. And it's finally come to fruition. We're not benefiting at all from any of this stuff. So we have to really kind of, just call it as we see it. And that's all we're trying to do on this program. That's it.
Well, that's it. And, and the thing is, the rest of the world is watching very closely. We're trying to defend democracy right here in the good old USA. And the other side, especially the Trumpsters, are attacking democracy and promoting dictatorship. And, the rest of the world is watching.
There are European countries talking now that they're not going to wait till the election. They're going to start moving away from any kind of dependence on us. I mean, we are a world trade center. They depend on us to buy their goods. I mean, that's the kind of consumer country we are. That's why we're so big. They depend on us. We're one of the biggest trading partners on the globe. And they need us, but now they're going to move away from us because they're not going to wait for the election. This is too crazy. If they have to go through this every 4 years, worried that somehow there's going to be a dictator elected to the U.S. and abandon all of their partners throughout the world, what can they do except abandon us and work on their own and be separate?
Yeah, and that's it. And we've got 8 months till the election. And the conventions, of course, not too far off. We'll be, covering those as well as the Republicans gather in Milwaukee and the Democrats down in Chicago. And boy, it's just going to be an election year like no other.
And they're going to try to ignore the State of the Union tonight.
Well, sure, that's tonight.
All the things that Biden will list as accomplishments, they're going to ignore that. But how can you ignore what else is going on in this country? We're going to talk about this earlier, but the Florida State Senate passed a bill to remove local government's authority to adopt heat standards. This is Florida, such as guaranteed shade and rest breaks for workers. This is how they respect labor. This is how they respect the hardworking person out there, working paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet, raise a family, and they're lifting all these guarantees for shade in a very hot state or rest breaks in a very hot state for workers. They're eliminating that.
What in the world are they thinking?
The bill will make all local heat protections void and prohibited. Amazing stuff. Chris Hayes said this, cannot overstate how at the ground level of policymaking, this is the kind of thing conservative politics and Republican governance is really about, is taking away the protections for labor, for us workers. They're not serving us. My God, how obvious can this get?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is
crazy.
We don't have time for the Moms for Liberty, right? Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah. We'll bring that back tomorrow.
But they appeared on 60 Minutes and they got blowback, and not only that, now a lot of the right-wing media is trying to save them and patch up the problem that they created by appearing on the show and not being able to answer the questions and not being ready for any of the questions.
Right.
They've been exposed.
Yes.
They've been exposed on television
nationwide.
Yeah,
that story is going to go on here for a while, and it's thanks to them. They're trying to defend it. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll keep beating up on you. So.
Right. Yeah, you don't have a real reason for any of this stuff, right? It's just crazy.
All right. Hey, that is going to do it for this Thursday edition of John and Gordy. Tomorrow, Rocker will be joining us to give us a preview of what's happening on Max Inc. this weekend. And, of course, we'll have more Stephanie Miller tickets tomorrow morning. We hope you enjoy this great, beautiful day. John and Gordy, Civic Media. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
It's the John and Gordy Show.